Words on a page are just the beginning of getting a book published. It often takes teamwork between an author and a literary agent. In 2022, author Jane Pek's first book, The Verifiers, was named a top 10 best mystery novel by the Washington Post. It's been given the same honor for her new book, The Rivals, and that is out this week. Jane Pek and literary agent Julie Bear are here to talk about bringing the books to life. Great to talk to both of you. This is so exciting to see the team in action.
Yes.
So, Jane, congratulations on The Rivals. It's a sequel to The Verifiers. And tell me a little bit about this main character, Claudia. She's this online dating detective in New York, but also has some secrets, I hear.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for having us on. So Claudia Lynn is a 20-something-year-old Queens native trying to make her way in New York, both figuratively and literally, because she cycles everywhere in the city, which can be dangerous. In addition, she loves books, especially Jane Austen and classic murder mysteries. So as such, her job is pretty much perfect for her. She gets to find out if the people her clients meet on dating platforms are in fact telling the truth about who they say they are, which, as we may know from online dating, might not always be the case. And then along the way, she finds that she starts investigating the dating platforms themselves and, what shenanigans they may or may not be up to.
Well, I am really curious about how this whole process works. So you sent your manuscripts to Julie, and Julie, tell me, what was it about the manuscripts that really caught your eye that said, I'm taking this on?
Well, I fell in love with the Claudia Lynn, the main character, right away. I mean, Jane's books are literary mysteries wrapped in immigrant family dramas. They're about a main character who loves Jane Austen, who's an amateur detective. And I was really taken by the way that she was exploring AI and dating platforms and using them to talk about technology and love. I couldn't resist.
I love that. Tell me about what it took to get this book to the publishers, to get it to print. I know this is a long process. It's a difficult process for so many, but not with you, because you're such a great writer. So tell me how it worked for you.
So I finished my manuscript, and so I started querying agents. I reached out to a number of them, and I actually submitted to Julie in the slush, which means I had no connection to her at all. I just sent her an email out of the blue. I totally did not think she would even open the email, because agents, especially agents like Julie, get hundreds of emails every day.
She's big time, that's for sure. Yeah.
But she actually opened it. And she responded to me the next morning. And it's seared in my memory because it was Friday morning. And she was like, send me the whole manuscript.
Wow.
She read it over the weekend. And then she emailed me and she said that she wanted to represent me. And honestly, my head kind of exploded.
Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine the moment for you. Yeah. There was some great advice that you gave, Jane, and you posted it on social media, and it was every scene needs to go somewhere. So change something. Tell me what that means, especially for these aspiring writers that want that moment so badly to hear from a literary agent that says, yes, you're going to get published.
Of course. Well, one thing that I think Jane does so well is she has these rich family stories and interesting characters who relate to one another. And so what we really wanted to focus on was, even in a scene where there isn't a dead body on the page, you always want to be moving the story forward, and you want that momentum. So whether you're writing historical fiction like you do, or literary mystery, or any kind of novel, you always want the reader to feel that tension and that forward momentum.
Speaking of every scene, you really added an exclamation point to that as well. How did you take that advice and then get in there and make those changes? And did you feel good about that? I mean, was that an exciting moment to say, hey, all right, I'm going to go in there and change something?
Yeah, I think when Julie said that, we were actually talking about a revision of The Rivals, which I think was almost there but not quite there. And it was a bit of an epiphany for me, because I felt like, yes, there were scenes that I had in there that were kind of saying more of the same thing. And so now I use that as a guidepost for every scene I write. I think, if we start the scene at point A, at the end of the scene, are we at point B? Or maybe have we found out that point A is not what we originally thought it was? Has there been some kind of movement or change? And, because I try to keep that in mind as I go, so that's why I put it on Post-it, I stick it to my computer screen so I can stare at it while I'm writing.
I think it's brilliant advice. It really is. Julie, tell me, for aspiring writers who would love to get published, what is your key piece of advice for them? What would you like to see in a manuscript?
Well, I think what made Jane's book stand out to me was the character of Claudia Lynn. and the unique perspective she had, this immigrant family story, how Claudia is the youngest of 3 siblings. It's a book that only Jane could write, and that's my biggest piece of advice. I mean, obviously, read widely, build a literary community, support your local independent bookstores and libraries, but write a story that only you can write, and that's what's going to make it stand out.
Boy, it's really special. Great to see the both of you. Congratulations. And it's so nice to see this teamwork working out just beautifully. So the Verifiers, the Rivals are both out, and the Rivals out this week. So Jane Pek, thanks again, and big congratulations to you. Julie, of course, wonderful to see you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you.